Welcome back to the Eric Krown crypto channel, and today we will be continuing with the options playlist, today focusing on probably the easiest concept in this whole series, which is understanding expiration dates. So this video will be quite quick, and I suspect that it will be rather intuitive, but for the purpose of thoroughness, when we're talking about expiration dates, we are talking about the day and hour and minute and second upon which the options themselves expire. And that decides whether they're going to be in the money or out of the money. And in this case, we will use a few examples here. This is going to be the 24th of July. This is literally today. And literally today, meaning it will be expiring in 26 minutes, which you will usually find right next to the actual options date right here. So it'll tell you exactly how long it has to go. So when that clock strikes 0, that is the time at which, well, it'll be decided. And if the price action is above or below whatever strike that you picked, depending upon whether it's a call or a put, it will be either exercised or not. So let's give it a quick example right here. Seeing that we have only 25 minutes left and price action is currently trading 22,700 basically is what we'll gather from that right there. Well, if we were to buy the $22,500 call strike, would that be in the money or out of the money? It would be in the money actually, because price action is above $25,000. By contrast, if we bought the $25,000 put strike, would it be in or out of the money? Well, due to the past prior videos, it would be out of the money. Price action is above the strike price. So unless if price literally closes exactly at the strike when the expiration actually happens, then only one between call and puts will actually be in the money. The other will be naturally out of the money and worthless, of course, as well, which sellers of options would quite like and buyers of options probably do not like, of course. So what else can we do with this? Well, let's go through a few more examples. Back one over here. This is the 25th of July, just the next day. Tells you how much time until expiration here on ByBit. This one's a lot more liquid, as you can see as well. Same thing with the 29th of July. Same thing with the 5th of August. And just as a general aside here, as we kind of scroll through it, you'll notice that the daily expirations typically have, decent liquidity on the first, on the closest expiration until you get, very, very close till the actual expiration, which, could be like just a few hours away. There's no real advantage in playing options in that way. It's just better to do things with straight up spot or futures contracts if you really have a bias as to what's going to happen. But in general, when we go through the list over here, you'll notice that on ByBit in particular, it gives you the first 2 days that are most relevant to the current time. So if we're on the 24th of July right here, so we have the 24th and 25th, and then it goes to the weeklies. The weeklies are typically going to be what you're looking for if you're looking for better liquidity, as those just get played more in my experience. And to take it one step further, the monthlies, which are going to be the last of the month over here, oops, I think I just skipped it right, or it's literally here, the 29th of July, are usually going to have the most liquidity for that month in particular. Now, just because it has the most liquidity doesn't mean that you necessarily need to play it. Obviously, you play the expiration, relevant to your strategy rather than picking the expiration before the strategy, of course. But in this case, just for full information, just for purposes of thoroughness, of course, these are going to be the most liquid, and the most liquid are typically going to be the quarterly end of month expirations. So that, I don't even know if do we have an example? Probably September. Let's see. There actually should be. And here we go. You can see that these are actually filled all the way to the brim, and they have strikes all the way up to 400,000 and as low as 10,000, which is rather interesting, seeing as 400,000 is on the board, but 10,000, which is like very far away from price action right now. 10,000, a little bit closer, let's say. Anyways, that's it for expirations. Again, all you need to know is the actual date and time of it. ByBit does it basically for myself at about 11 a.m. So that would be, if you're thinking in terms of UTC, 9 a.m. UTC, I believe that would be. And that is daily, of course, they have. And well, that is basically all that it is. There you go. Be aware of where things are expiring. We should also know, now that I come to it, now that I reference my notes, is this. As options get closer and closer to their expiration, as you can see over here, they will naturally lose their value or collapse into parity with spot price action. So if price action right now is 22,700, as you can see over here, then if we took the current in the money, or the closest at the money but in the money option, so in this case that would be 22,500, it should basically be equal to the difference between current price and the premium of this strike. So that would be about $200. Again, price action trading 22.7. Over here, you can buy $22,500 call strike for $200. Basically the same thing. That's why doing straight up spot or futures, it's going to be more efficient, typically speaking. Except in like very bizarre situations, but they do happen, but just few and far between. Not really worth talking about on a beginner series like this. Okay, that's a good place for me to leave off on this one. I will see you in the next one. Take care.